All right, now, every day for the last couple of days, there's been power equipment noise in front of my house. Now, we know that that's the government gang stalking pattern, and it is time for the Trump administration, for the FBI director to stop government gang stalking. This program has been going on since Dick Cheney, when they changed the FBI regulations so that you could go after anybody without suspicion of wrongdoing. Now, who does it? Police gang stalk, firemen gang stalk, ambulance drivers gang stalk, members of Citizen Corps gang stalk. They get your neighbors and people in the neighborhood to gang stalk. It is outrageous. The government gang stalking has been going on for 2 decades, and all the administrations since Dick Cheney have allowed it to go on. Your Republican Party is hiding government gang stalking. This is it. Why would members of Congress hide it? They would hide it because they don't, the scandal that it would cause to say that police, and this is probably police with the Joint Terrorism Task Force, are gang stalking ordinary citizens since Dick Cheney. So we're talking about 2 decades here. So it would be extremely embarrassing for the Republicans or the Democrats to say that in addition to police, firemen have been gang stalking citizens. Citizen Corps has been gang stalking citizens. I call them the Reds. But gang stalkers don't only use conspicuous surveillance, red cars, red trucks, wearing or carrying something red. They can use any anchor. Now, the word anchor is a neuro-linguistic programming word. And what happened was when after 9/11, a bunch of firemen started taking neuro-linguistic programming, and they started learning about the concept of anchoring. In other words, having a stimulus that they use in government gang stalking. And I met a man on the YouTube that was gang stalked in North Carolina, and he showed a different anchor that was used in his gang stalking. But the thing is, when you look at his videos online, and if you go to my website and you look at August 2025, you'll see that person from North Carolina, and you'll see the anchor that was used in North Carolina. And what happens is they use it on your entries and exits from your home. They use it when you're in the community. So it's called, the FBI calls it conspicuous surveillance. In my gang stalking, it was the color red. But they don't have to use the color red. They could use any color, they could use anything. But what you will see is that all the gang stalkers use a particular anchor in mobbing. Now, mobbing, you find it in the workplace, and this is also something that's not talked about. And the reason it's not talked about is because our government does it. So what happens was they changed the FBI guidelines in the Bush-Cheney administration. They made it that you could go after anybody without probable cause. In other words, just trashing the Bill of Rights. And gang stalking has been going up since that time. Now, another thing they use besides mobbing is unremitting harassment. Noise in front of my house, constantly. They try to get you to move by doing that. Recently, and this is after 20 years of mobbing with the color red, using conspicuous surveillance, recently, the houses on both sides of me became empty. And what I began experiencing is Havana syndrome type symptoms. Now look at my website and you can see the person, the college professor in California, who has shown how this is done, how it was done for the original people that the Havana syndrome was used before. They were diplomats. So it's our intelligence agencies, it's foreign intelligence agencies that use Havana syndrome tactics. Now, why did they start using it in March 2024 with me? Because of the fact I'm 76 years old, and if they were to harm me at this age, you can't tell what's coming outside and what's the result of my age. So other gang stalking targets have reported being physically injured by kind of, you can call them, I call them Havana Syndrome tactics, which you can look on my website, stopgangstalkingplease2.com, for more information. So what am I here for, to try to tell you today? This has to be exposed. It is an outrage that you have our government gang stalking citizens. They get away with it. Our government mobbing citizens, our government unremittingly harassing, using noise every day to harass citizens. This is an outrageous program. They use mobbing, they use unremitting harassment, and they even, if they think they can get away with it, try to physically harm you. So it's our intelligence agencies that do it, and what I believe that they've done at this point is they've involved our military. So that I live near a military base, and essentially they involve the military to physically harm you with their new kinds of weapons. You can go to my website, stopgangstalkingplease2.com, where I discuss this further. So our Republican Party, our Democrat Party, I'm not voting for anybody anymore because nobody represents me. I've been gang stalked since 2006 when a fireman neighbor, he was new to the neighborhood, he got me put on a list, and I've been gang stalked every day since then. I've been unremittingly harassed. They use noise. I've been mobbed. They use the color red. They use same time exit entry gang stalking. I go out of my house, a gang stalker goes by, like they know when I'm going to put out my garbage cans, I'll have a gang stalker waiting, ready to do that, because it's a percentage of our population. This program mostly copies the Stasi in East Germany, where they had a percentage of the population to harass the targets of the East Stasi. Another program that it is very much like is the American Protective League. The American Protective League actually existed in the United States, and it was very similar to the program that we have now. You can look it up in Wikipedia, the American Protective League, or just look it up online. So that it is time for us to stop government gang stalking. It is time for us to confront our corrupt Republican Party, our corrupt Democrat Party, who won't tell you that your police, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, gang stalk citizens, who won't tell you that your firemen gang stalk citizens, ambulance drivers gang stalk citizens, EMS gang stalk citizens, Citizen Corps. Originally, this is how it started, gang stalk citizens. This is an outrageous program, and what is more outrageous is that our government allows it to go on. The Trump administration promised to end the weaponization of government, and it has not done so. Because how do they tell you that police gang stalk, firemen gang stalk, ambulance drivers gang stalk, Citizen Corps gang stalk, I call them the Reds? How do they, without telling you, our society is corrupt? Our society is corrupt. We can't trust Republicans. We can't trust Democrats. Completely corrupt. It has to be exposed. How will we expose this?